And if we find ourselves in some kind of, whether it just be something simple like a bad mood or going down a negative thought pattern path, really just reminding ourselves that this can pivot, this can change. Today's quote is brought to you by the founder of the Hasidic movement, the Baal Shem Tov. He tells us, "B'makom machshavto shel adam, sham hu nimtza," which means in the place where a person has his thoughts, that's where he is found.
So there's more and more research coming out about the power of the mind and the power of thought and how your thought patterns really shape your reality.
Absolutely.
Your thoughts shape your reality, and therefore you can decide, you can really tell the story of your life and what you want your life to be based on your thoughts. And how you think is going to affect how reality will play out. And this is actually not some sort of, magic secret formula, but we don't realize the effect of how much our thought patterns affect how we act, which will inevitably affect our reality.
It's an amazing, amazing concept, and it's one that we should, not only try to make our own, but one that we can give over to our children as well, because it's very powerful for them as well. But to just think about that. And if we find ourselves in some kind of, whether it just be something simple like a bad mood or going down a negative thought pattern path, like really just reminding ourselves that this can pivot, this can change. This is all in my mind. This can, I can change the circumstance and just make it into something that will become a new reality by the power of my own thinking.
One of the students of the Baal Shem Tov took this idea and he actually made it a little bit easier to say, a little bit more of a catchy quote, where he said, I'll say it first in Hebrew, Tachshov tov yiyeh tov. Think good and it will be good. It's just an easy phrase to say. He actually said it in Yiddish. Tracht gut wird sein gut, a very famous quote by many of the Chabad Hasidim. Think good and it will be good. Tachshov tov yiyeh tov.
I can give you multiple examples in my own life where I have literally seen things where I just tried to put myself into that positive mindset in trying to think of things positively, and I will see them playing out differently than times in my life when I've been in a negative thought pattern and I've seen things going down a totally different way. So it's really, really powerful, and I guess this just reminds us, to constantly just make sure that the pattern of our thinking is one that we want to be in, that is completely aligned with where we want to be headed. Because if they're not matching up, it's not going to play out that way.
This is actually a really powerful tool to use in relationships when we're dealing with our children, with our spouse, with our coworkers, with our students. Realizing that when we step up our game and believe in them and empower them by believing in them, genuinely believing in them, they will step up. The problem is that when we have already ruled out our spouse, they're not going to show up for me the way I need them to. My kids, they're not going to get the job done. So I have to micromanage. I have to look over. Then they're not going to step up. They're going to become small because of our small belief in them. But when we have to balance this and not have too high expectations, but when we genuinely believe in them that they will show up and be the people that we need them to be, we're actually empowering them to be that just through our beliefs. And
so I think I used the word pivot before, just in pivoting our thought. It's also really important that if we do start seeing a relationship in our life that we're finding ourselves getting into a negative thought pattern with, we replace it. So immediately when we're annoyed about something, we say, wait a second, pause, because it's just going to continue going down the negative path. But if we can stop and say, you know what, instead of focusing on this terrible trait that is bothering me, and I'm going to focus on this incredible strength that he or she does have, it will change. It will just change the way that the rest of the pattern continues to go.
So again, whenever you find that you're getting stuck in that negative thought pattern, an easy mantra for you is Tachshov tov, yeh tov. Think good, it'll be good.